we went back a week later just to get the news that the steroids have sped up the rejection. They did the absolute opposite of what they were supposed to do. And not only that, but the sutures from the transplant, because of the makeup of her eye, they had begun to cause deep holes in her actual eye. So the bottom line was, we could do a prosthetic cornea, we might not. We're just really looking at, unless a miracle occurs, she's just gonna be clinically blind, with very little vision, and it's just gonna be a different life. I did not take very well with that. I was already just emotionally overwhelmed with everything. Just being a mom in general to 3 babies, and 3 babies in diapers, actually. I began to, turn to some substances to numb my pain, just to get through the day, it just, I don't know, I couldn't live with the agony and the pain anymore. I just couldn't do it, and I stayed like that for a little while. I was still functioning, taking care of my children, but I was using substances to do it. I was emotionally checked out, mentally checked out, spiritually checked out. I was functioning physically, and one thing leads to another, and before you know it, you're not just using stuff to get by, but now you're in a full-blown addiction. It's a full-blown addiction. I can't function without this type of addiction. But by the grace of God and my wonderful family, I was able to overcome that. And I always think about, people that do have issues with addiction. You're not an addict for no reason. More often than not, it comes from a need to suppress this pain, because sometimes the pain is so terrible, or the events that you've been through have been so traumatic that you just can't function, you can't live, you just can't do anything. I have a great family and support system, and was able to get my life back on track. And Macy, I will say, is not clinically blind. She does have vision, and she uses Braille. We have a machine that blows up text so she can actually read words, the written word. She types at school. She's extremely smart. But most importantly, she's so full of love and joy, and just makes my life complete. She just, we'll see people in Walmart, and she doesn't see very well, but she sees people for who they are on the inside, and she'll just tell somebody randomly, "You are so beautiful. You are so beautiful." She does that all the time, and I'm like, you know what? She's a blessing in my life. Justin is a blessing in my life. Every day I can look at them and I'm like, wow, 2 miracles in my life. The challenges that they have, it does not affect them. They still do what they want to do. They can play, they have friends. It doesn't mean that life's not difficult for certain things. It doesn't mean that, them knowing that they're different doesn't sometimes come into play. But I'm just blessed. I am super, super blessed to have both of them in my life. I now have a 13, 11, and 12-year-old, or I should say 11, 12, and 13, all super close together. I get to do the teenage thing with everybody. A lot of times people ask me, what is easier, 3 babies in diapers or 3 soon-to-be teens? I'm like, I'll take the diapers any day. I'll take the diapers. As far as how all this has affected my parenting, I would say that it's made me let go a little bit, actually. I would normally, as a mom, try and stop, like, this is not safe, you shouldn't do this, you know, and it just could be walking down the stairs. And I'm just like, whoa, wait a minute, Tiffany, wait a minute. The limitations that they have are because you're teaching them that they have limitations. You have to just allow them to do whatever it is they want to. Let them try it and let them decide what their own limitations are. And so I've done that. It hasn't always been easy, but it's always been worth it. And if I had to give advice to any other moms that were going through similar situations, there's a couple things. Number one, first and foremost, I think it's super important to allow yourself to deal with the emotions of what you're going through. You know, I didn't really allow myself to deal with everything. I kept kind of pushing it down and trying to cope through daily life. But that backfired on me because it built up so much that I couldn't, and I turned to substances. You know, that was my outlet, you know. I would say join a support group. I found a support group with other parents of children with Peters anomaly, and it was so rewarding and fulfilling for me to talk to these parents that had children that were, you know, teenagers, adults, and to find out what their life was like. You know, their lives had not been destroyed because they had vision issues. They could do anything and everything they wanted to. And it just gave me so much hope, you know, when the children were small, that, hey, it's gonna be okay. No matter what the vision is, it's gonna be okay. And I think that's just so important when you're going through stuff like this, to have a support network, you know. And I thought my family could do that, but it just wasn't the same as talking with other parents and other children, actually, that had the Peters anomaly. So support group, super important. And number 3 is don't ever be afraid to tell a doctor no. If you feel like that something's not right for your child, you don't have to say yes right then and there. You can take time and think about it and research it, and if you still don't feel like it's right, it's okay to say no. Because sometimes the mom instinct is greater than what the doctor knows. It just really is. And, you know, I have wonderful doctors. I'm all for, you know, the medical world, but I just think that it's important that you as a parent have the right to say yes or no regarding your child and what type of procedures, care, schooling, therapy, anything like that. And I really hope that my story just gives encouragement. I know that it's rough being a mom sometimes, but it's so rewarding. It's so fulfilling. My life is fabulous now. I'm super happy. I've got great children. I'm a grandmother. And life is just wonderful. And thanks for giving me the opportunity to share.